So I'm sure we've all had our fair shares of like regrets in our lives and everything, and I'm sure that the title of this video might not seem as dark it was, but it definitely will be quite dark, I'm not gonna lie. So if you are sensitive, I feel like I say this to every story time now, but yeah, if you are sensitive to dark topics, talking about death, talking about shit like that, you know, then, you know, click off, because I'm gonna be talking about that in this video. Okay, so when I was like much younger than I am now, and a bit more confused than I was like in my childhood and everything, I had a really confusing upbringing with my mum, everything like that. I had like a stepfather and everything that didn't really go that well. The person I would nearly always go to for support and just having a chat with someone was my grandmother. I visited her like almost every Wednesday for some reason. I don't know why it was a Wednesday, but we just picked Wednesday because why not? Why not? I think I know why, because I had like a short day at school on Wednesdays, so that's why I picked Wednesdays and stuff. I would go to her house and I would like, you know, I would just do basic chores, you know, just help her out, because she had been smoking for 50 years in her entire life, which is, you know, which is a lot of smoking. Obviously your lungs are not going to be in proper condition, so doing basic tasks such as that will be really challenging for her. So I helped her because I was just a skinny kid that had tons of energy in him. So why not? Why can't I just use a bit of my energy to help my sick grandmother? She wasn't sick all the time, but she was not in her best like conditions, if you know what I mean. I would come over to her house and I would water the flowers. I would grocery for her. Like I would do some dishes. I think I did as well. Do some washing, stuff like that. I would talk to her about a lot of stuff that happened in my life. I'm not gonna get into that, but I talked about my experience with my stepfather, how I was going to school, and like how I could do better in school, and mainly went to her for advice, because she would give me really good advice, and I really appreciated her, which she really was like my one person that I would like lean on if I was going through some shit, you know. I think the reason why she was that, I mean, the thing is as well, like she would mostly spend her time like reading books and everything. She absolutely like loved reading. I think she had like 1,000 books that she had completely read out. So she was a massive book fan, bro. Like, I don't know. In 2019, right before COVID happened, I mean, it was actually earlier than this, but my grandmother started to get progressively sicker and sicker. She was regularly in the hospital. She didn't like being in the hospital whatsoever. She just wanted to go home, which is, you know, understandable. Like it's really depressing being in the hospital. So my family has been in the hospital quite a bit, and I'm like quite used to it now. Like I don't really think about it much. The hospital, especially where I live and everything, it has a distinctive smell. It just stinks of like it's a mix of sweat. It smells like dirty air, if you know what I mean. Like it probably doesn't make sense to you lot, but that's the only way I can really describe the smell of a hospital is, especially the ones that have a bunch of old people in them, and including this one. Where I had my grandmother. Her lungs were just not working properly because, you know, she had been smoking for 50 years. It's not like she was like new to this smoking thing. She had been smoking for the majority of her life. Like I'm inclined to say that she had smoked 80% of her life. So it was not looking up for her really. She was in and out of the hospital. I would normally join the hospital and everything with my mum and my aunt and my cousin and stuff. We would just be there with her, just talk to her and stuff, because, you know, she needed all the support she could have. You know, I really was like thinking like, is this gonna be the last time me seeing her? I was really scared about that because I didn't want to lose her, obviously, right? That was like my worst nightmare. As she got sicker and sicker, she just had more stuff plugged into her. She just had more like these machines being into her, more needles on her arm and everything, and she just looked more tired and tired the more we talked to her. Even talking to us was a task for her as well. Like it was really sad, man. I'm not gonna lie. But eventually it got to a point, she got so sick to the point where she literally couldn't talk. Like that was too hard for her at some point. And my mum, I remember this night really well because this was when it happened. This is when it happened. This was in 2019. This wasn't it wasn't like that long ago. It was like in March and stuff. I remember my mom coming into my room and just knocking on it, and she said that, yo, she didn't say yo, but you wanna come visit your grandmother? This might be the last time we see her. At this point, I had been at her hospital like many times already. It's not like that was my first time and I declined it, but yeah, I just kind of spoiled it there. But yeah, I declined the request because something in me just said that that I just couldn't see her that way. I wasn't mentally strong enough to go. Even though I had seen her previously, I couldn't bring myself to see her in such pain and agony by just struggling to breathe and struggling to keep her eyes open and everything, because that's the last thing I wanted. I didn't want to see her in that pain. So my mom said, that's okay, don't worry, even though I feel extremely guilty for not going. That night, my mom and my aunt and cousin and everything, she died in her sleep because she couldn't breathe. And I really regret not sleeping over that night at the hospital. That's by far my biggest regret, because I didn't really get a properly goodbye, but she saw me at least sometimes, and she didn't even witness me turning 18 either, which is really sad. I really wanted her to see me finish high school, because I'm literally about to do that now. She never got to see that. She never got to see me finishing high school or me getting my car or anything like that. She didn't see any of that. But if anything, she missed a bullet, bro. Like, at the time, that was when COVID was starting to go crazy in the world as well. And COVID, for someone with that bad of lungs, it would have, if anything, I think that would have been way more painful for her. I'm not gonna lie. I remember her funeral really well, because the only thing I did at her funeral was just, I just cried. I don't think I could remember much else. I wasn't sad that she was gone. I was mostly sad that I just didn't see her the last day, because I got the offer and I still declined. So I was really, keep in mind, I was like, what, 16 or something, blaming myself, I guess, in a way, for me not going on her last day. Looking back at it now, I shouldn't blame myself, but it's still a regret that I have, and forever wish I could take back and re-witness me going and visiting her at the hospital for the last time. But yeah, I don't know, like, it was really sad at that funeral, man. I just couldn't fucking stop crying. I saw her casket and everything. I didn't even see, like, you know when you could see people when they die or something, when they like have makeup on and all that stuff? Yeah, I didn't get the offer to do that because I think I was too young or whatever, or I'm not really sure what the rules were. Yeah, I think I wasn't allowed or some shit. I'm not too sure, but I don't know if it's like an age limit to that. I'm not too sure. I was just 16, but I think that was by far the worst funeral I've ever had, and I've had a few funerals in my life, or attended to ones at least, and they suck. Every single last one of them sucks so much, because you just know everyone is hurting in there, and including yourself, especially when that person meant a lot to you. On my 18th birthday, my aunt actually gave me a note that my grandmother has written to me, her last words to me, which I'm actually gonna get right now. All right, I turned my camera on for this, but here it is, me turning 18. I have the card here. Her last, it is in Norwegian, so I will just translate it. I don't know if you can read this, but she said, "Remember, I always love you, and I wish you everything good in life." That was her last words to me. That day, or this note, I got on my 18th birthday, and it's been in my room now for 2 years. I'm now 20. This would be her witnessing me turning 18, but in spirit. I'm nearly getting emotional as well. I'm really trying to keep it in, but yeah. That was her last words to me. Oh, this was a really heavy video. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry for keeping it so heavy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear more stories. Maybe some more positive ones, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, take care of yourself, everyone. Please take care of yourself. And have a good day. And have an amazing summer as well. Let me know what you're gonna do in the summer as well in the comments. But yeah, have a good one. Peace.